Hey, hey, family. Once again, coming back to you uh, live from Ironwood State Prison. Here I am doing this. I'm still amazed and blown away by the whole thing. It's so funny to me. My friends and I laugh all the time. And I just wanted to share with you guys something that's going on here right now. We're dealing with here in this institution. Uh, in our local community, we have two prisons that are right next to each other: Ironwood State Prison and Chuckawalla Valley State Prison. Well, Chuckawalla Valley State Prison is in the process of closing. By November, I think it is, that they're supposed to have everybody out of there and transferred to new environments. Well, a lot of those guys have been coming over here over the last month or so, and as a result, people's programs have been being uprooted. So you have men who have had jobs for years and living arrangements for years, and all of these things, and they're uprooted for various reasons through no fault of their own, right? And that causes a sense of uncertainty, right? And another aspect of this whole change is that the people who work, the officers, the correctional officers, the free staff, the cooks, the people who do our work in our laundry areas and in our canteens, and the nurses and the doctors and everyone, they are also having their jobs and their livelihoods threatened by this closure. And so everyone here in these institutions are dealing with this shift and this uncertainty, right? And who likes uncertainty? I know I don't, but we have to learn how to cope with that. So, that uncertainty, we all have to learn how to cope with that. And for myself, speaking for myself, my old coping mechanisms were drugs, alcohol, violence, these things that were ineffective. It might have worked for a second. The way I describe it, it's a band-aid on a bullet wound, right? It's not going to be a long-term solution. And so now what we're all trying to deal with here, and I hate the word trying, so forgive me for using that, and I'll talk about that later. But what we're all doing here is learning a new way to cope with this uncertainty. So, my question to you all tonight is, how are you coping with the uncertainty in your life? What are you doing to deal with that when you face a situation that you just don't have the answer to in the moment, and you're feeling like it's just too much, this overwhelming sensation of life's events? In today's economy, I know it's hard to all the food and everything costs so much money. Gas is unbelievable here in California, taxes, and just all the stuff that a person would face in life. How are you dealing with the uncertainty? Are you turning to the Lord? Are you turning to the cross? Or are you trying to deal with it in some ineffective way? Search your own soul, search your own heart for the answers that you can only find. Because what works for me may not work for you, and what works for the other guy may not work for another guy. But you know what? Maybe it does. And so, if we can just remember in those moments where you feel uncertain and maybe you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed, if you take a second, take a few deep breaths. It's called belly breathing. Put one hand on your chest and put one hand on your belly and see which one. You want to have your belly moving. You want your belly to breathe, because that's when you're most effective in getting the oxygen throughout your whole body, all the way down to your toes. And that's going to help you think clearly. It's going to help you remain emotionally regulated, grounded, and centered in the moment. And that's going to help you begin to find your solutions to that uncertainty. So I just want to again say, hey, everybody, I love you, and I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. And I look forward to the next opportunity I get to make a video and share my thoughts with you. Again, if you ever want to reach out to me, GTL Getting Out, hook up on the messenger, and we can have more conversations. And I really look forward to all of that. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Everybody be safe. Love conquers hate.